are back in the house, episode 148, Yinzertainment Podcast. We have a reoccurring guest here with us, Ellie, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I always do. Finnerty?
That's perfect. That's it.
Nailed it. All right.
Good
Ellie
job, Kai.
Finnerty, we had her on the podcast probably a couple months ago before football season started, but huge football fan she is. So, we got to talk some Steelers football. It's time to get back in action here. Michael and Alex are here too, but they're not as important.
X.
We have this thing actually, Ellie. It's we call it the Ellie effect.
Okay.
Where the last time you had come on our podcast, our numbers went through the freaking roof. Just absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
That's
we get
awesome.
no plays on our YouTube videos. I think we got over 100 with yours, and we were like, "What the hell is going on?"
Like literally quote Drake 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the people
I know
love
that the
Ellie.
one person that commented was my best friend.
I thought
Awesome.
you might know that person because I was like, I don't think anyone's ever commented on a YouTube video of ours.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah. But I mean, the people
So-
love Ellie, and especially when it comes to Steeler football. So thank you again for coming back on. We had a blast
Yes.
last time. We've got some football to talk about. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
How exciting.
Steelers. Let's just start here. Steelers 2-0.
Yeah,
Could
kind
we
of.
have predicted?
I would like to say that we could have predicted that, but because of the teams that we played. But Sunday's game was a nail biter till like the final second. I mean, that was a painful win. I was glad when that game was over for sure.
I mean, I could
Steelers
speak for
football.
Alex and myself because we watched the game together. But I mean, Ellie
Yeah.
and Michael, how concerned were you two in the second half when Jeff Driscoll was tearing up our secondary? What?
I could not believe how many deep balls he threw and how accurate they were. It was concerning. It made me wonder what he was seeing that was giving him the idea that he could throw that and that it was going to work. It was worrying for a second there for sure.
And I think part of it has to do, he probably was like, I have nothing to lose.
Nothing. Yeah,
True.
nothing.
He's like literally anything I do, like whether it be positive or negative, is gonna have no effect on me. He's like, because nobody expects anything.
And
True.
it's like, that's what I thought was going to happen with Duck Hodges, and that wasn't the case. So it's like, how's this guy?
Hold on. No. Take that back.
I will not.
Because this was one game that Jeff, he didn't even play a whole game. So Duck did the same thing with the Chargers last year. He lit it up against the Phillip Rivers in prime time. So yeah,
That
Jeff Driscoll
is, yeah.
maybe did have one good game on Sunday, but who knows what he's going to be doing the next 4 to 6 weeks,
Mhm.
or until if Blake Bortles comes in and becomes starting quarterback.
And
I forgot about, yeah.
in all fairness, let's give credit where credit's due. I mean, Driscoll's not a rookie by any means. Like, he's been in the league. He's been around the block. He knows what he's doing a little bit.
Yeah,
So
he wasn't an undrafted, fourth string quarterback that got signed like 2 weeks before the season started.
right.
Yeah.
So, I mean-
So both just whatever players.
Yes. But hey, they got it done. Like we said though, the secondary, the pass defense as a whole, I think we saw it last year for sure. But I mean, this year, what is going on with our pass defense? We cannot seem to. Our zone defense is non-existent pretty much. Why is that? What's the missing link?
That's a great question. I'm not sure there is a missing link so much as maybe a little bit of miscommunication, maybe a little bit of, you could argue that still shaking the cobwebs off a little bit, maybe still kind of getting our bearing. I would say that Mike Hilton has certainly stepped up and is crushing it. So I don't feel too worried. And a couple of those calls on Joe Hayden were really suspect. So although he was beaten out a few times as well. So, I'd like to see if Joe Hayden can be a bit more consistent. Oh, hang on, let me just come out there. If he can be a little bit more consistent, but Mike Hilton has certainly been a force to be reckoned with. So I'm not too worried about it. I just think it's a little bit of, maybe rust or maybe just finding our footing. I'm not really sure. Difficult one because I thought they were pretty solid in the first half, and then the second half, even TJ said the game just got away from them and they just sort of like fell apart a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely saw that. I mean, the pass interference calls on Hayden the past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
both just very, very ticky-tack fouls, and I think we've been seeing it across the league as a whole this year,
yes.
because they took away the reviews on penalties, right?
Yes.
So like I was all for that up until these 2 Hayden penalties. I'm like, somebody fucking check the tape on these. Like, where's the interference? Show me.
They stopped doing that. They stopped reviewing.
Yeah, they took it away this year.
Yeah.
So
Which I
they
was cool with, like I
implemented
said.
it for 1 year because the Saints bitched about it. Is that what?
Pretty much. It's pretty much it, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get it. But a lot of people online
That's
are
the dumbest
saying
thing.
Joe Hayden might be a little old, might be getting a little washed. I mean, we did see, like you said, Ellie, we did see him get beat a few times. Like, can we attribute it to cobwebs? Is he shaking off the rust still?
He still had an interception.
Yeah.
One game.
Right.
Cut the man some slack. One game. I'm not gonna sit here. It's typical Steelers fans. You put 1 foot wrong and you're washed. I'm not gonna say that for him on one game. If we see something consistent, maybe that conversation could come up. But for now, I mean, I'm still pretty confident in Joe Hayden and his abilities. I'm not worried about it. We still won. So the defense still did their job, maybe not to the level we're expecting, but certainly did it enough for us to get that win.
Well, I think that's almost like our defense is so good the past few years too, and everyone's got such high expectations for him that when they do let up a play, everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on with the defense?" But it's like, and the no preseason thing. I mean, the 3 of us talked about. I mean, that's just got to be killing some people as far as not having the reps to be ready.
Yeah, definitely. It probably has played a part. Look at all the injuries that the entire league is having right now. I mean, the Broncos during the game were just losing people left, right, and center. I think we're very, very lucky that we didn't lose anybody. And by the sound of it, people complaining about like the Giants field and how bad it is. We're so lucky that we didn't lose people in week 1. It's like plagued with issues on that field. So I'm just counting us lucky that we're still at somewhat full team go.
Yeah, right. So many injuries this weekend, and again, could be a no preseason thing, but there's probably like 20 torn ACLs. I think the 49ers lost half of their starting squad.
Yeah. Nick Bosa.
Yep.
Fuck them.
Prayers up, as they say.
Yeah, I don't wish injuries on anybody.
Yeah. Well,
I don't. Yeah.
Myles Garrett, Vontaze Perfect, maybe. Mild injuries.
Maybe.
Just major inconveniences.
Yes, more than anything, inconveniences.
I have actually. I never tell this story to anyone because it's so embarrassing. But
love it. Let's hear it.
Here we go.
There was a few years ago. It was when I first moved to the US, so it must have been like 2015, 2016. We were playing the Bengals, and I was watching it with some other Steelers fans, and I said they were crushing us, and I was like, if Andy Dalton could just hurt his thumb, we'd be fine. The very next play, the man spraying his thumb. And I was like, I can never do that ever again. Like, I'm a curse. Like, I felt so bad. I mean, I tried it on Joe Flacco, but it didn't work. So I was like, never mind.
We're going to need you to try it this weekend, I think, on Houston. Just get Deshaun out for like 3 quarters.
Deshaun I'm not worried about is JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he takes hits like nothing and bounces back like a rubber ball. But JJ Watt could cause some serious damage.
Yeah.
He's desperate for a win too.
And Deshaun barely has anyone to throw it to.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great. I mean, I'm just kind of worried in the sense that, and I think a lot of people have seen it this way on Twitter. Like, Texans are 0-2. Deshaun is a great quarterback. Their running game is there.
Yes.
They're hungry for a W. Is this the game against the Steelers where, we see it game in, game out, the Steelers come out flat in the first quarter or two and a team goes up big? If that happens against a quarterback like Deshaun Watson, who's to say what the hell ends up happening? So
yeah, that's definitely, I was actually talking about that today. I said like an 0-2 Texans is a dangerous team to face. They don't go 0-3 very often. They are a decent team. You can't say they're a terrible team. Coaching is questionable, but the talent is there, and they just paid Deshaun Watson. If he doesn't start showing the reason that they gave him all that money soon, there'll be an uproar in Houston. So he's hungry for a win. JJ's facing both of his brothers. He's going to be on top of his game because he's going to want to show them that the big brother is still the number one. I mean, he said himself, I don't count TJ on my level until he's been a depoy twice. So he's obviously hungry to prove himself. I think this is a game where you face them at 1-1. Maybe I would be a little bit more comfortable, but an 0-2 Texans team is a dangerous Texans team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It is. And I was just looking at, speaking of JJ Watt and their defense, Vince Williams leads the NFL in tackles for loss, which is
really
incredible. And his 6 tackles for loss are the most after the first 2 weeks of a season since JJ Watt had 7 in 2015.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yo, there might be a defensive player of the year on the Steelers whose name is not TJ Watt. Or for that matter.
You might be right. And I like that. I want the competition to be within our own unit, not someone else.
Well, I mean, shit, we talked about how poor our pass defense has been. Our run defense has been top notch, top of the charts. I mean, last week they let up a few good runs, but I mean, they shut Saquon Barkley down to 9 total yards.
Yeah.
Who is arguably the top 2 running back in the league, who also
tore his ACL.
Yeah, him hurt, McCaffrey hurt. They're all just fucking.
But I think also the Steelers kind of like hurt themselves in how much we blitz. I think that's where we get beat on, in passing so much because, dude, you see it's like blitz, and it's like we're getting pressure, but like sometimes it works, and like obviously last game it was not working.
And then when we don't blitz, we have our linebackers cover receivers and tight ends.
I would rather our linebackers blitz every down than drop into coverage every down and never blitz. Like, it's just, I mean, we saw Bush play a pretty good hit on fucking welcome to the league rookie Jerry Jeudy this week. He was out for a minute there. Great, tackling in the pass coverage, but we need to get hands on the ball. Terrell Edmonds, where the fuck you at, bud? Like, I know he has 20 tackles a game, but he's a safety. He should be having a pass deflection or something, or breaking up plays downfield.
To me, he's a very, I can't think of the correct word, but he's a very reactive defender. I think like he will go after someone after they've already made the catch. He's like, oh, they've made the catch. I'll knock him out bounds now. Instead of getting in front of the receiver, instead of being more proactive, he's a very reactive defender, and it's great. You've prevented him from getting a first down, but he's on 2nd and inches. So what did you really achieve? He's not a ball hawk. He doesn't have the eye for it. Whereas I think we saw a lot of that with Minkah Fitzpatrick in 2019. He's watching for that ball. He's before the receiver has even had a chance to get there. He's there ahead of the game. So, Terrell Edmonds I was really hoping this would be his year, but.
Yeah. That's what I think
there's
we were
time.
saying that too.
There's time. Right. I would like for it to be his year, but.
Me too.
I mean, listen, he made the game-saving play not necessarily game-saving, but he made the last play on defense last game, and it was a hell of a play. So, shout out to him. I mean, he's not a bad football player. He's just, as a safety, you need to be able to cover the balls downfield. I mean, that's your job. So, it's aggravating as a fan, but I'm hoping he turns it around. Like, I want to see him do well.
Yeah. If not Cameron Sutton, I wouldn't mind if he got some more time, because I think he could be great. I know he had didn't he have a penalty that wasn't his penalty, the one that took away the
Deontay's punt return?
Bro.
With the block,
we'll let it go. Because
that was such a weak block in the back.
It was it was so bad.
Shit call. And I just want to say, I have Deontay in my starting lineup, and I really could have used those points.
Me too.
Bro,
it's done.
I lost 143.24 to 143.44.
That's disgusting. I'd throw up.
Because Deontay, because of that, and because Julio Jones only put up 4 points. What an ass.
Well, those are first.
How inconsiderate.
Julio Jones is my first problem.
Yeah.
When Calvin Ridley's getting all the balls, but
come on, dude.
That happened to me last week, Michael. I have the Steelers defense as well. And so
Same.
I was up like 2 points and they had nobody left. And the Steelers gave up those 2 touchdowns.
Bro.
And I lost by like half a point. It was very devastating.
You love to see it.
Yeah. Love to see it, don't we? But anyways, this defense. What were you saying, Michael?
I was gonna say, speaking of penalties, they had 10 penalties.
Which again, can't have, but the refs did fuck like 3 of them. So
89 yards. I think it was like 89 yards in penalties, which is insane.
It was.
I think I read somewhere it was like we gave up 6 first downs. They got 6 first downs as a result of penalties.
Well, the Joe Hayden penalty ended up turning into a touchdown like the next play.
Yep.
Well, it tells me right here.
that was last week, I think.
Oh yeah, those last
Yeah, they did. The Broncos had 6 penalty first downs, and the Steelers didn't have any. And against the Giants, the Steelers only had 3 penalties for 21 yards. So that was, but still, the Giants had 2 penalty first downs, and we didn't have any. Like,
Yeah. Very inconsistent officiating. Very inconsistent.
And we've seen it across the league.
yeah, no,
unfortunately.
it's happens to everybody.
Anyways.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The other side of the ball here, I want to get some opinions out of you, Ellie. First of all, Big Ben back.
Yeah.
What do you think so far? Looking good?
I think, he looks great. I think that the caution is coming from Randy and the OC, like the coaching. I think they don't want him to be throwing that ball too much, but he has shown in both games that he can throw that ball like 50-something yards if he needs to. And he doesn't come off looking too bad. So
On the run, nonetheless.
Yeah, and on the run too. And we all saw Kevin Dotson right there, ready to tackle, and I was just loving it.
Yeah.
Well, and now I'm kind of sad because Dotson, listen, rookie, first start, right? And he absolutely shows out and shows up. I don't think he let up a single rush on Ben. So shout out him for that. But this week they're saying DeCastro's ready to roll. He's back.
Yes.
So that means obviously Dotson is now not playing. Like,
yeah, unless they do some moving around, put him on left. I've heard a couple people say that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and they do have another person down on the line anyway. So, I mean, that might be a possibility, but
it sucks. But at the same time, I think it's a good problem to have where now we know.
That's what I said.
Like, Dotson's ready to fucking roll. Like, say DeCastro goes down halfway through the game or in the first quarter, because he came back a little too early. At least we know Dotson, who his dad is a lifelong Steelers fan, is ready to fucking take one for Ben.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great problem to have.
Definitely.
The O-line I'm a big advocate for showing some more love to the O-line because it is the backbone of a team. Without a good O-line, your best quarterback does nothing.
Look at Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I was going to say, Deshaun Watson knows that.
Look at Deshaun Watson. Look at Sam Darnold. Look even at Joe Burrow right now. Without that O-line, what the kid does nothing. The kid cannot do anything. Like, what did he throw? 80 passes or something?
He threw so many passes.
Insane, right? And it's because his O-line is so weak. Without a good O-line, you are doomed. When you have a quarterback that's had a serious injury, protecting him and that injured body part, because it's always going to be injured, even though it's fixed, it's still going to be a cause of concern. It's important. It's imperative that line's a brick wall, that it does not move. So to have the problem of too many men stepping up to the plate to defend the elbow, great.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
The more the merrier.
Can we start all of them? Just have
Can we just have a
everyone
big semicircle around?
Seriously.
Speaking of protecting the quarterback, last week Benny Snell did a pretty good job at protecting Ben on the blitzes. Love to see it. He had a hell of a game, 113 yards last week.
Yep.
And this week, James Conner feeling healthy. He's back. He starts, of course, has a great game, but we see, I think, 2 snaps from Benny Snell.
Benny
had, fumble,
he had 3 rushes for 5 yards.
Yeah, he does fumble quite a bit,
Yeah, he did.
unfortunately. But what do you see as far as a running back perspective for the Steelers going forward? Do you think the running back by committee works, or do you like that they play Conner for most of the downs, then you just mix in Snell and Samuels for like 5 total carries a game?
I'm on the fence because when I've talked about it recently, I've been very vocal about the fact that I do prefer running back by committee for this particular situation with having James Conner. Because a healthy James Conner is a great James Conner, but he can't stay healthy if he's being run into the ground, and it doesn't take much to run him into the ground. So I would have liked to have seen more of Benny Snell. I would have liked to have seen even a little bit more of Jalen Samuels, and I'd like to see Anthony McFarland period at some point. So for me, with having those four guys, I prefer running back by committee, just not the Steelers' way. So knowing that that's not a direction they're likely to go in, utilizing Derek Watt is so important. In the Giants game, he was creating routes for Benny Snell that were perfect. They were so in sync with each other. They were tied to each other. It was beautiful. It was how he was getting those really great runs, including the one I think he ended up fumbling on. Thank goodness for Juju. Derek Watt was instrumental in the running game. So if we're going to continue with keeping a healthy James Conner doing the majority of the snaps, Derek Watt needs to be utilized a lot more. I know some people say if you have your fullback on the field, it gives away that you're going to be running, but we already have a pretty predictable run pass option. So yeah, I don't really care about that.
Let him know it's coming. Just put Derek Watt in the way and create a hole. We saw none of Derek Watt last game, and a lot of people online were not happy about it. We paid the guy $3 million this year for what? To sit on the bench? Like, we have him. He's a great. He's top at his position. There's not many at his position, but he's a top player at that position. And when he's in, the run game works. And when the run game works, the pass game works. And when all those things work together, we win by 30 fucking points.
Yep. I want to see more of him. He's so necessary, and using him this weekend will be the difference maker, I think.
Yeah. And it's literally not just the Steelers, I know to be true, but I don't know why no teams utilize their fullback in their entirety.
Yeah.
He's not just there to, set up good blocks. You can literally 3rd and 1, feed it to your fullback, fake pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's what the Raiders
do. The fullback screens.
The Raiders use theirs, right? They did.
The Raiders literally just did that last night. They threw the first touchdown went to their fullback.
Yeah.
He ran up the block. No, there was nobody that came at him. He ran straight into the end zone and he just threw it to him. It was like a 3-second play.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so concrete in today's NFL that the fullback is not a threat. He's not going to do anything. He's simply there as a body to block. No. Utilize him.
It's a great position to use. Might even be a better position to use now that people do think it's not a threat, because you can really surprise people like the Raiders did.
That's what I'm.
No one's blocking that player.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like. Sorry to cut you off.
No, yeah, you're good.
It's like, some teams have the tight end that's their blocking tight end. Well, why don't you get somebody who can just do it both? I mean, I know that's easier said than done, but why are you going to have one blocking tight end and one tight end to catch the ball?
Hey, can I add to that real quick? Because Ty, you were with me. How awesome was it to see Nick Vannett fucking trip up when they were going to throw to him? And he fell. He just fell by himself when he fucking turned after the block. That was honestly, seeing Nick Vannett not do well. I mean, he didn't get hurt or anything, but see him not make catches or plays made me so happy, because I was so pissed off about all the bad things he had to say after he left the Steelers.
Yes, I agree.
Dude, I get you were unhappy, but do you understand the situation we're coming into?
Yeah.
Come on.
He also got lit up by, was it Hilton? Mike Hilton? He tried to block Mike Hilton and he shed that, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Fucking love Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton was on fire.
Next jersey, Mike Hilton, for sure. I have so much
Another
respect
person on defense that people need to talk about more is Tyson Alualu. He is
so good.
God, I am
money.
Incredible.
He's so good.
The whole defensive front.
Yeah.
I mean, who was the guy? What's the other guy? Adaney. We saw him in the first game. Looked pretty good.
Yes. You mean Ola?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know his first name. Yeah, I just read the jersey. But yeah, I mean, the whole front is They're all capable of doing it. It's
Mm-hmm.
awesome to see. Awesome to see. But back to this running thing.
Okay.
We need to see the fullback more, definitely.
Yes.
Especially this weekend, like you said. I want to see some brother on brother fucking football.
Yes.
I want to see Derek Watt bashing JJ, opening the hole for not
For
I'll rephrase
TJ.
that. I'm gonna rephrase that. I want to see him bashing him to create the hole. That still sounds weird. Make the hole for him to run.
We want to see the Steeler Watt brothers come out on top. That also sounds weird.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, though. I want to see him fucking go. I shouldn't do that either. I want to see him going at. I'm gonna stop.
You get it.
We see where you're going with it. We see where
okay,
you're going
thank
with
you.
it. Yeah.
Because everything that comes out of my mouth right now is a sexual innuendo.
It's just
not
trash.
even on purpose. It's just.
It's not Game of
Oh,
Thrones
come
here. This is just football.
I was gonna say with the whole running game, quick. It's Ty. You said why don't you go out and get like an elusive fullback or something? You know, they have a blocking tight end and a receiving tight end. Why don't you have? We have 4, 5 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't confirm their heights and weights, but throw Benny at the fullback or Jalen at the fullback, while
Mhm.
James is the tailback, or even run a 3 running back set. Drop a tight end. I don't know. Play action. One's blocking, the other one goes out. Like,
Especially when you have Samuels who can actually catch the ball.
bro, and throw interceptions. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think it all just. Yeah, that's very true.
There's so many elusive players. It's like you have a whole backfield of talent. Use them.
So multifaceted.
What that comes down to, I think, is just play calling. And again,
Mhm.
I hate to keep sounding like a fucking broken record, but everybody online,
You don't sound like a broken record because that's
everybody
exactly what
online
it
is
is.
just all upset because Randy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with that play calling.
Should we call the Jalen Samuels special? Just call it Wildcat.
And
Dude.
they're not. I mean, everyone online is correct. Our play calling is trash, like you said, Ellie. It's so predictable. Run, pass. Run,
And-
pass.
If like they settled, they were content after the Chase Claypool touchdown.
Yep.
If you go back, literally have all the drive summary, they ran the ball through a 5-yard out, like punted it away. Like, what do you, and then an interception. And then like, no, you learned it in high school, man. The Gator roll.
You know what I would love to
Keep
see is if they
Chopping
went
down
back-
and keep going. Don't take your foot off the pedal.
I agree.
Have you?
I wish that we go back to when Martavis Bryant, how first play, go long, it's going fucking deep.
Yeah, dude, to Chase Claypool or Deontay Johnson, who, by the
Dude.
way, Chase Claypool is working out way too nicely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's
dude is
a good
amazing.
addition. Nice draft pick.
Yes.
Great
very
draft pick.
The bees.
He is awesome.
good. And not only at
He's so
receiver, on
fast.
special teams, Tapia, when we were watching the
Yeah.
game, I told you, I was like, dude, he is running down and making tackles on every punt, every
Yep.
kickoff. He is.
He is what Johnny Holton wants to be.
Well, he
Yes.
wishes he was.
Yeah.
He's Johnny Holton if he gained like 80 pounds and grew 5 inches.
5 inches at least.
Yes, minimum.
Yeah,
just got
Chase
way
Claypool
better.
is awesome. I know that some people have said, well, they were OPIs on both of his catches.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
well, welcome to football. You mean it's
Yeah.
officially is never going to be that specific. I will say there was a referee right there, and he didn't say anything. So neither did the commentators. Nobody mentioned it, but Bengals fans. So I would argue that it's okay for this one. But I saw on the sidelines when, bear in mind he's a rookie, and this is why I think this is so cool. But on the sidelines after the, I think it was when Edmonds made this. When Edmonds made the sack. He was actually waving goodbye to the Broncos on the sidelines. And I'm like, our rookie is doing that. I love that. Like, he's so invested that he's like, yeah, I've been here for years. Watch me wave goodbye to my
Yeah.
opponent.
Just
love-
trolling the shit out of Denver.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love his energy. His energy is it's infectious. It's
Yeah.
like juju.
He
When
feels
he
like
had
he's been on
that-
the team for years.
When he had that rush last week to secure the game, there was like 40 seconds left, and he just,
Yeah, when he almost
Yeah,
took it to the
yeah.
house.
I was like, God damn, what was that?
Yeah. Dude,
I
the dude
loved
is
it.
fast.
Cool, he runs a
Turns out.
4.4340.
Yeah,
He
but
is so
everyone
fast.
everyone's always like that's his breakaway sprint speed. What's he got around the corner type thing? And it's still
Probably
like a 4.4
well, I mean-
around the corner to me.
Probably like 4.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do after you catch the ball? You run. That's
Yeah.
what he did. It's
Yeah.
And
he kept that right foot in, which was exactly what we needed.
that was huge. He had 3 targets, 3 receptions. Love to see it.
And that's
Perfect.
called being efficient.
I mean,
Yeah.
just looking at all of the receivers and their targets and receptions, it was, pretty efficient. I didn't realize, though, Deontay Johnson had 13 targets.
Yeah, he
It
had
was-
like 20 fantasy points for me. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
he did
Yeah.
get me a few as well.
Yeah, he did very well, but it's just like, imagine if that return.
Yeah.
And
It
he
would've
would have
been the-
more.
Phenomenal game.
hmm And he
I-
did have a fumble as well, I think,
Yeah.
which sucks. But
Ellie, we don't talk about that.
we'll ignore it. We're ignoring it.
Well, that's
We only
actually-
talk about when Juju fumbles.
Yes. Well, that's what I was going to say is, I love all the receivers. I love that we have such a young receiving core. But Deontay, these first 2 games has struggled pretty hard. I mean, he's had, again, great plays. He's been catching plenty of balls, but that's because Ben keeps throwing him balls.
Yep.
Which is great for his morale, You mess up, just keep
yeah.
feeding him, let him get those reps. But, I mean, the first game, he muffed that opening kick or punt or whatever.
Yeah, it would have been their first drive, first possession, and then luckily the defense only gave up 3.
Right. And I mean, just dropping some balls, missing routes. But the fact that Ben keeps throwing the ball to him and just keeps feeding him like that, I love that.
That's how you
Yeah.
build the confidence.
leadership.
It's like, bro, you're not down. We all
Yeah.
struggle. Like, let's keep going. And it's like, if you, and I agree, I'm sure we all could agree that Deontay has struggled these first 2 weeks, but it's like, if you're struggling with 8 catches, 92 yards and a touchdown, bro, keep struggling,
Struggle
Right.
away.
but get better each week. Like,
He is an example of what could have been for Juju's 2019 season if the coaching had more faith in him, despite the fact that it wasn't Ben throwing, because he's had the same kind of start as what Juju had, but instead they pulled away from Juju last year. They said, okay, he's had these fumbles, it's not great, step away, focus on our other receivers. This year they've said, okay, his first 2 touches in both games, Deontay fumbled or had some kind of issue, and they still used him anyway. And that's how you teach a receiver that 1 or 2 mistakes is not the end of your career, and it does not mean that you are now like tarnished and we won't use you, because he's still effective. He just had a couple of mistakes. And look at Juju now, and he's on this, I would say, a bit of a comeback season. I don't want that. I don't want there to be any more comeback seasons for any more of our players. I want us to maintain consistency and trust in them regardless of the 1 or 2 issues that they had.
yeah, and because they drafted them and brought them in for a reason.
Yeah.
And we know that's how the Steelers work. Like, you play.
And I
back,
do want to say, like, Juju in the last 2 games has been responsible for recovering a fumble and catching that deflected pass that was meant for Deontay Johnson. It ended up not meaning anything in that instance, but it saved us from potentially giving them a great position on the field. And in the Giants game, it did save the game because it was late in the third. If we'd have passed that ball over to them, who's to say they wouldn't have scored another touchdown? So Juju has really saved the day twice now.
And is it safe to say that, aside from our quarterback and our offensive line, that Juju is the vet on the team?
Yeah. And he looks like a true leader. Look at the way he supported Deontay and cheered for Deontay after his touchdown. Look at the way he supports the rest of the team. He is a team player, and that's what you want in a leader.
Antonio Brown could never.
No, he would never.
He never did, and he never would. Yeah, there's no way.
He wouldn't have done that for Juju.
No.
When Juju was a rookie or a second year, that was never happening.
Juju wins team MVP, and AB starts throwing shit. Like, come on, bro. It's a team effort, and yeah, that's what's up. There's so many people saying that Juju is the next AB, and it's like, how do you not see the difference?
It's worlds apart. But people, I said it to someone yesterday. Juju could run 800 yards in the first half of the Super Bowl, be the only one catching touchdowns, have saved the day, probably thrown a few touchdowns as well, also blocked for Ben, and maybe even, ran a safety, and people would still say that Juju was the problem. So he's on a lose-lose in some people's minds. Some people will never forgive him for the 2 times he fumbled the ball. Yes, they were important fumbles, and that sucks.
It's
But it was
just
2
absolutely
times.
ridiculous to me.
But he's still a great receiver, and guess
Yeah.
what? He is backer than ever. I mean, he is killing it already this year. So I would like to say to Mark Madden and his followers, you can all suck it.
You can all go kick rocks.
Yeah, and you all owe Juju an apology. Each and every one of you.
He would
I want
never.
him handwritten.
Well,
Handwritten, hand delivered.
and that's what I was going to say is like his leadership quality doesn't only stem from what he's doing on the field, but off the field. And that's what a lot of people have issues with is him off the field. And it's like, bro, he's a human. He's having fun with it. Would you like, I mean, Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby's not on social media at all. And he's at the top of his game. However, Juju is not Sidney Crosby. He's not the greatest of all time, but he's the greatest of right now for us, and he's doing everything he can for members of the community on the field and off the field. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that somebody could hate somebody that's doing so much good.
Yeah. I mean, his cereal's for charity, right?
Yeah, the jumping Jujus.
Jumping Jujus.
Did you hear? This is one of the things that I really kind of like about not having fans is you can hear a little bit more of what the players are saying. And during the Giants game, the code word they used for Juju when he would start moving across the line was cereal. So they would start yelling to each other like cereal, cereal, and it would be an indication that Juju was like on the move or on the go, or whatever he was doing. I love that.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
That is.
I heard
really
that,
awesome.
but I wasn't like I didn't put 2 and 2 together. That's incredible.
Oh, that's funny.
They put Jew and Jew together.
No, the cereal part.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about Juju is he has fun with it, and I think when you get to the professional level in sports,
old people don't
a lot of people, especially old people, tend to forget that these people are playing this game because they love it. Like this is what makes them happy, and yes, it's their profession, but also they're allowed to have fun with it. It's a game, like.
Exactly.
The same goes for baseball and people bitching about people bat flipping after home runs or whatever.
Or hitting a home run on a 3-0 count.
It's like, yeah, because to that guy, he's in his backyard at 8 years old with a wiffle ball bat playing with his friends, and he just hit the walk-off home run in the World Series of backyard wiffle ball. Like, same thing. Like, they're doing it because they love it and they have fun with it. Like, let them have fun.
Let them have fun. I agree.
And now I'll get off my soapbox about it. And I'll get on this soapbox.
Okay.
Dustin Colquitt.
Yes.
Was it worth it?
Honestly, I was going to say Marquette King.
Listen, I'm
He's
a Marquette
my guy.
King fan,
I love
always
Marquette
have
King.
been. And he booms the ball like 80 yards.
He's
why is he
so
not on a
good.
team, first of all? And second of all, why did we get rid of Jordan Berry for old man Colquitt, who's just doing the same thing Berry was? I don't get it.
Yeah, not a lot of difference between the two so far. I really haven't haven't looked at Colquitt and been like, thank goodness for you. Like I haven't gotten there yet, but maybe he's also taking the rust off like Joe Hayden. I don't know.
But I mean, as a veteran and when you have just the one job that you could practice all off season, like I don't know.
A terrible punt.
And I'm somebody who appreciates a really good punt. Like I think it's taken for granted, the punter position. And when there's a great punt, I appreciate it to its fullest. I saw one, I think, in the first game out of him where I was like, that was a pretty good punt. We need that position.
Well, he had one really bad punt one where it literally went out of bounds at like 50. And then he had one that nobody on special teams like saw where the ball was and it ended up rolling out of the end zone. I forgot. I can't remember if it was the first, second half. But I was like, yo, like, how the fuck does nobody see that? Like, it literally was like bouncing in.
Yeah, I saw that. That was on Sunday, and nobody was around it. And I was like, really? Like, that would have been prime position. But that's not his fault.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, come on. I was like, we literally could have put them at like the 2.
Yeah, that sucked. I don't know. Remains to be seen. It's been 2 weeks. This is also a new team for him, so let's give him a couple of weeks to figure it out, I guess. But yeah, it's nothing that he has done Jordan Berry couldn't do.
Right.
Yeah, and I just did a quick Google search. Naturally, it's what I'm best at. And Jordan Berry's contract, it was 2 years, 3.7 mil. So for a year, it was 1.8. Dustin Colquitt, his contract is 10 or $1,050,000. So he's cheaper,
Yeah.
which I'm sure has a lot to do with a business and how it's run.
Especially when it comes to millions of dollars.
Especially when it comes to the broke Steelers.
Yes. And Marquette King, it says in 2018, the Broncos signed him to a 3-year worth $7 million. Like,
Yeah, well, he just offered to play football for free. So
did AB. There's got to be more underlying issues.
There is with AB. Maybe he's got the same rap sheet.
plus, King like pimps all his kicks afterwards.
Well, that's the biggest. That's the most common response I've seen to why is he not on a team, and it would be just like, oh, because he gets excited like Juju and dances. Like, yeah, so bro, cool. You see a corner again. You watch Terrell Edmonds the next time he gives up a 20-yard pass, but he tackles the guy. He's gonna get up all hyped, like, oh yeah, I had a big hit. Like that's not well. First off,
Vince Williams does it. Vince Williams does it.
But that's what I'm saying. Everybody does it. You make a big play, you celebrate it.
As you should, yeah.
As you fucking should. That's why you bat flip after you hit a 450-foot bomb off of an ace. Like, yeah, you celebrate. It's so hard to do.
As long as you don't celebrate prematurely, that I see no problem with it. I always remember that time where we had we played the Bears and they blocked our field goal and ran all the way to the end zone, and he celebrated before he stepped into the end zone, and we tackled him. And I'm like, that's when celebrating.
That was September 24th.
Do you remember that game, Michael?
Of 2018 or 2017? Because that was the first first regular season game I've ever been to, and that's the same game that the Steelers stayed in the locker room for the national anthem.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Was it the same game?
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, I was there.
Wow, I didn't
wearing my Steelers Bumblebee jersey
in
like
Chicago,
an asshole in Chicago.
Yeah.
Risky.
It was so hot too. It's just miserable.
I do remember it being very sunny. I remember that.
I know. The fucking ending to that game.
The G-dang Bears too, man. That was tough.
The hometown team.
That's when the Bears utilized Tariq Cohen, and he was good.
They just signed him to like a pretty big contract.
It's because he's the best player on their team.
That's not true.
Who? Yes, it is.
Allen Robinson.
Yeah, he's great.
Khalil Mack.
What did he do last year and this year? Nothing.
I think he's ahead, or no, he's right below TJ in sacks, for what it's worth.
Well, it's because TJ's got 1 sack.
Maybe it's not sacks then. Something with pass rushing. You get it. I'm a headlines guy. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Facts. However, September 24th, terrible date.
Yes. Let's do predictions quick, and then we'll wrap up with a little trivia. Predictions for this Sunday's game, right? We're at home again. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Houston Texans 0-2. Final score. What are you thinking?
Steelers are 4-point favorites, by the way.
Okay.
They didn't cover last week.
Yikes.
They were 6.5.
This one is really tricky because, like we said in the beginning, 0-2 Texans team. I never want to predict a loss because that's just too negative. So I'm gonna say a really close win.
We did it a lot last year.
Yeah, last year was a given. I mean, no offense to a lot of offense to our team. The Texans, great. I'm gonna say something like 21-24, something like that, Steelers. Like a really low scoring close game. I don't see it being a blowout, and I don't want to predict a loss because that's too negative. But
I was going to say 2017 Steelers.
Yeah, something like that.
Low close, yep. Boys, gentlemen.
Yeah, Pia, go ahead.
We'll go 29-20.
29. Explain to me how you would get to 29 points.
3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and a touchback.
A safety, you mean?
Safety, yeah.
We did have one. We did have one on Sunday. So
That's a bold prediction.
Or you
Well,
could
Well, I'm just thinking
4
that
touchdowns
O-line
and one of them you could go for 2.
I'm just thinking that O-line sucks. Like I
It's
think
true.
we're
It's a good point.
The O-line does suck.
Our defense is gonna have a field day with that O line.
Yeah, I even though Deshaun Watson is my fantasy quarterback, I hope he sees all the fucking ghosts on Sunday.
He is a quarterback though that can take a hit. I mean,
Yeah.
last year there was that one time when he was sacked and he bounced up like it was
Yeah,
nothing.
the two guys that hit him. But,
Yeah,
but he's never been fucking hit by Bud Dupree. That guy
So
puts
true.
guys out of the game.
that's true. That's true.
That's
Or
Matt
Cam
Moore.
Hayward.
That guy's a murderer.
Yeah, it's Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. That bless him. When 200 and what is it? 200 and how much does Bud Dupree weigh? Like
270.
270.
270?
We
That
literally
man
looked it
landing
up
on your
like 2
shoulder
days.
is going to
2
take
weeks
you
ago.
out. That's for sure.
He does not. I honestly thought he weighed like 230, 240. When,
Yeah, he
when I
doesn't
saw
look
he was
big.
270, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That's pure muscle.
it is. It has to be because he's not like he doesn't have like a Cam Hayward stance, you know, like he's kind of streamlined for a guy who's 270, I would say.
Even I saw a
Insane.
picture of Hayward the other day, some like team picture, and he was looking so skinny. I was like, he looks like he
Really?
lost like 30 pounds.
I mean,
know.
after that interception, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't see his pop on that interception?
Yeah,
That was so good.
dude got
Yeah.
up.
Per Google, Cam Hayward's 288 and Dupree's 267.
267. Okay.
So
Yeah.
almost the same.
Damn.
That's insane.
It was like
Do not look the same at all. So
No.
that's
Totally different bodies.
Yeah.
Midget, that's a 20
how
pound
much does TJ Watt weigh?
TJ Watt, he
I'd venture to say 240, 245.
250.
252.
Damn.
You weigh 252 pounds?
That's crazy.
That is insane to me.
Fuck.
Well, when you have muscles on your muscles, I guess it makes sense. Like if I weighed 250 pounds, it would all be in my midsection.
How much does Alejandro Villanueva weigh?
I'm just gonna type in L.
285.
288.
285.
Oh, is he
290?
in threes?
No,
Is he in threes?
290.
300?
Some 320.
What?
6'9",
my God.
320.
He's 6'9".
Okay, well, that's the same. Zach Banner is 6'9" and in that same range. Yeah, okay, I would see that now.
Dude, that is
Okay.
a massive,
Okay.
massive human being.
How much does Chase Claypool weigh?
Chase
I
Claypool.
think he's 240.
He has to be at least 240.
I'm going to say
235. 235. That's my guess.
239.
238.
Anyone would think I study these people too
Yeah,
much.
she's been looking these up.
Okay.
Definitely. She's like,
How
I'll
much
just
does
be
Mike
off by
Tomlin
one
weigh?
so they don't catch on to what I'm doing here.
You say Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, how much does Mike Tomlin weigh?
Does Mike Tomlin have to tell people?
Yeah, he probably doesn't have to disclose that.
I'll bet it's on his Wikipedia anyway.
I'm on his Wikipedia right now.
I'm guessing 220, 230.
Listen, hey, I weigh just under 220. Tomlin's got to weigh more than me.
About to get virus.
Probably, yeah. I feel like he would not have to disclose that
Yeah.
information.
It's not
Yeah,
that important.
I
Michael.
can't find it.
That's fine.
However, TJ and Bud are both 6'4", and Bud's 267 and TJ's 250. Those are big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Big fellas.
Big.
It's like a
Mhm.
15, 17 pound difference. Holy shit.
Zach Banner, 6'8", 344.
What's Devin Bush?
Holy shit.
I know that
Holy-
Devin Bush is shorter.
Yeah, he is kind
He's
of short.
5'10".
He's 5'10", 5'11", 234.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
Alright.
crazy.
All American linebacker.
Let's do some trivia. What say you? Again, these questions are for everybody.
For
Ellie,
what
don't
it's
feel
worth,
like you have to answer.
hate to interrupt, but my prediction is that the Steelers
Oh,
win like 35-21.
Sorry, dude.
That
Didn't
would
mean
be
to skip
nice.
over you there.
Dang. There's
Straight away from it.
My first guess in my head was actually 34 to 20.
You say 35?
35-21 would be my guess.
A shootout. You don't think any field goals from the Steelers, just tutters?
So you're telling me I should bet the over?
The over is 45. So,
Damn.
yeah.
I bet the over last week.
I need some field goals because I have Boswell as my kicker. So
Well,
I
get
always-
plenty of extra points.
I didn't think about
yeah.
it. I'm sure there's a way to reach 35
with some field goals.
with
I'm
doing
not a
something.
math guy. I'm not even gonna.
I'm not a math. Doesn't.
Yeah, no.
I suck at that. When people ask me what I think a score will be, I hit panic mode because I'm like, I can't do multiples of 7, and I'm not really sure. So
Just say 7-0.
I mean, plus you have to take into account that Boswell might miss an extra point. There could
Yeah.
be a safety. There could be like,
yeah,
who
it could go
freaking
for an
knows?
extra. We could go for 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go for 2.
That's what
Yeah.
they call scoregami, right? When
Mhm.
there's a brand new score.
No, I
that's
think
never
it was
happened.
called Beat the Swami or something.
Oh, yeah. Chris Berman.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1. So, by the way, these cards are ranked either a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 7. The lower the number, the easier it is. So, we're starting with 1s. What Hall of Fame running back did the Steelers acquire in 1996 trade with the Rams?
Oh, Jerome Bettis.
Oh yeah.
Jerome Bettis. Okay. If you don't get this one, we have problems.
Oh.
Although not officially retired, the number 43 has not been issued to a member of the Steelers since the retirement of what all-time great?
God, that's a tough one.
The guy from the Head and Shoulders commercial.
Hi, get your poster out now.
It could be anybody.
That's a good time for that. Thanks for the reminder. I
Ooh,
want to
of
show you the
course.
poster Michael gave me. It's old.
Along with
Okay.
everything else on his wall behind
Yeah,
him.
along with everything you see behind me.
Okay.
Tell me this isn't the most handsome man in all of the Pittsburgh Metroland area.
Oh, sensational from top
That's
to bottom.
badass.
It couldn't get better, could it? Really, honestly.
You
My
gotta put
God.
that in a frame.
I was gonna say the only way it could get better is if it was in a frame and that sticker on Ty, your bottom right, would come off.
I'm just going to do the rest of the podcast like this.
I'm okay with it.
Better than looking at your face.
Yeah.
Way better. His hair is way better too.
I have that image on a t-shirt.
That's sick.
That's just
Yeah.
I used to have it on my door when I was younger, and it would scare the shit out of me at night.
As it should. As it should.
I was
He's
like, oh my
intimidating.
god, no.
Thought he was coming up the middle, blitz your ass.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
go to the bathroom, but then I was like, no, Troy looks scary. Probably not.
Okay. Okay, here's another one from that same card. What nickname for the Steelers defensive line came about as the result of a 1971 contest sponsored by WTAE, whatever that is?
What was the lineman?
What nickname for the Steelers defensive line?
Steel curtain.
curtain.
Steel curtain. Okay.
Easy.
Those were ones. We're
See,
moving
I
on
just
to
have
twos.
I have a problem in my entire life with taking quizzes and tests because I just don't understand the question the first time it's read.
Me too.
I also like I get memory loss when I'm under pressure.
Well, especially when you
even
can't
if I'm
read it.
I was gonna say, even if I'm reading it on a piece of paper, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
What does that say?
It doesn't help that Ty has the most boring voice ever.
Yeah, Ty, come on,
I'll
dude.
spice it up
You act
for you.
like a game show
Wow.
host.
What Homestead native spent 11 of his 15 NFL seasons as a quarterback with the Steelers, never starting more than 2 games in a year?
I love it. By the way, I love that.
I'll read it in a normal voice.
Never
It's probably easier to understand. What Homestead native spent 11 of his 15 NFL seasons as a quarterback with the Steelers, never starting more than 2 games in a year?
Is it Charlie?
It is Charlie Batch.
This is
Wow.
Charlie Batch.
The greatest backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's
Never
phenomenal.
was. Great podcast, too.
Who?
I
What it's
don't-
worth.
yeah,
Or isn't he a radio host or something?
Well, he's not on Entertainment, I'll tell you
I
that.
don't know. You tell me, man.
We follow him on Twitter, is all I know.
Along with like 900 other people.
Yeah, yeah, there's quite a few. In 2001, what wideouts became the first Steelers pair to post 1,000 yards receiving in the same season? And we've had this one before, so you two can't answer.
No, don't say that because I don't know the answer.
one
I'm
of,
oh god, it could be anybody.
I mean,
I'm really bad. I'm so bad at quizzes. This is
me too. I
stressful.
couldn't get this one. Michael, what say you?
Hines and Plax.
Hines Ward and
Yeah, I'd have
Plaxico
said
Burress.
Hines, but I wouldn't have said.
I think when Michael read this one to us prior, I said Hines, but I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
all
think
got.
actually I've done a quiz with that exact same question in it, and I got it wrong because they offered Hines as like Hines and someone as 2 options, and I don't think I picked Plaxico. So my
Shout
bad.
out Plaxico.
Shout out
his
to Plaxico
OnlyFans
and
account.
his OnlyFans.
He actually, that's it. It's just Plaxico like trivia. That's what his OnlyFans is.
That actually would be amazing if that's what that
Yeah, I'd
was.
actually subscribe. I should, because I didn't know that one.
See that? So before Ty, your next question, Ellie, this is the beauty of if we don't know the question, that's cool because it's just us learning new
Now we're
Pittsburgh
learning.
information.
Yeah, that's true.
Take it and run with it.
This one
Learning.
is geared towards Michael, I'd say.
Oh, jeez.
What Steelers 5-time Pro Bowl defensive lineman answered to the nickname Big Snack?
Oh, it's not number 98. Ellie, you know this one?
I do know who Big Snack is because didn't he just get nominated for the Hall of Fame?
That I cannot confirm, but I
I'm
know
sure he
who
did.
it is.
I don't know his name.
His initials are CH.
That doesn't.
It wouldn't help me either.
Casey Hampton.
Yeah, I'm so sure. Let me just check that, but I think he just got nominated for the Hall of Fame.
That's even greater.
We should have known that. There's a piece of trivia that I had no idea
Like
about.
Steph
Well, let's
Tuitt.
just check first that I'm not.
Steph Tuitt is, I don't think, as large as he is, but Steph Tuitt reminds me a lot of Casey Hampton, just disrupting the center.
Oh, I might be wrong. I'm sorry. I could have sworn I saw him on the list.
Big Snack, former nose tackle, 12 seasons for the Steelers, played at University of Texas. He's 325, 6'1".
That was my nickname in high school. I was always snacking.
Old lumpy bag Big Snack.
In 2014, what former Pitt running back became the Philadelphia Eagles' all-time leading rusher?
Yes, he has been nominated. My bad. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Awesome.
yeah.
There you
he's
go.
I love it. Ty,
Casey
if you
Hampton
don't mind,
Running back one time.
Oh, yeah.
run
Oh,
that
I'm
clip
sorry.
back.
Absolutely. No. Don't be sorry at all. 2014, what former Pitt running back became the Philadelphia Eagles' all-time leading rusher? Currently in the NFL today.
What's he on?
He's
Last year
on the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Is he?
Is
I'm
he?
almost positive.
A former Steeler?
No.
No.
Pitt Panther College.
Pitt
Oh,
Panther.
no, you've lost me. I don't know. anything.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. Me too. I don't follow college.
He is one of 3 running backs in Tampa Bay right now.
Is he 1, 2, or 3?
3,
3.
which is crazy considering he just won a Super Bowl. LaShawn McCoy.
No, I'd have never got that.
Yeah,
Product of Pitt.
product of Pitt. All right.
Not for fun.
We're moving on to 3s. Uh-oh.
I mean, I had no idea, but I wanted to just keep asking questions.
Yo, so
Um,
LaShawn McCoy runs the same 40 time as Chase Claypool.
Who
That's-
does?
Which
That's
is
disgust. Shady McCoy. LaShawn McCoy runs a 4.45 per.
he runs or ran?
I
Right.
mean, ran because I'm sure he doesn't run it every morning. Like,
I don't know. Hey,
Good.
Ellie, you want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
Ty can run a full 740.
He can run a what?
A 4.740.
Listen, I told them that I think I could.
Please.
I told them that I think I could run a 4.740, and everyone who I've said this to has laughed in my face, but I'm pretty convinced.
When I was at the Pro Bowl, they do give you the chance to like test it out, but I was like, oh
told them-
no, I'm tired.
Bring the cones and the stopwatch. Let's go. Okay, Michael, this one's for you too. Whose
All right.
8-yard run produced the first regular season touchdown ever scored at Heinz Field?
the first ever touchdown was a rushing touchdown by who at Heinz Field?
Basically, yeah.
That's pretty. Ron Haynes.
Cordell Stewart.
He had the first ever touchdown at Heinz, and it was a rushing touchdown.
First regular season touchdown ever scored at Heinz Field.
You want to know why? Because
We'll
he's the
take
most
it.
versatile player to ever play in the NFL.
Something tells me that's
hit.
not
I got
correct.
Cordell and Plaxico's autograph just sitting right over here.
You should sell it, dude.
Two most valuable pieces I have.
What linebacker intercepted a fourth quarter pass from Jake Plummer, there's a name, to help lock up the Steelers' win over the Broncos in the 2005 AFC Championship?
Goodness grief.
It's not one of these.
No, it's Larry.
Yeah. Larry Foote.
Foot. Oh.
I was going to say it's either between Lamar or Larry. Lamar Woodley or Larry Foote.
Good old Larry Foot.
Good old Footman.
Bro, their linebackers have always been, since I've been watching the Steelers, their linebackers have always been top tier. They're so good.
Okay, here's one for the crowd. On November 14th, 2004, what Steelers linebacker was ejected following a pregame fight, opening the door for James Harrison's first career start?
He also got shot like Plaxico, but he didn't shoot himself.
Yes.
Oh, God.
He got shot outside a bar in Denver.
Yeah.
They shot me in Denver. What was he saying?
Yeah.
This was in a book I was just reading.
Number 55, not Devin Bush.
Oh, gosh. I've just read about this as well.
Mr. Joey Porter.
Yeah.
Of course it was Joey. Joey Porter was... Yes, of course he was.
Yeah, of course. He
Bless
seems
Joey
like the
Porter.
kind of guy who might get himself into a sticky situation.
Another
where
person
he's
who
gonna-
may or may not be nominated for the Hall of Fame, I feel like.
Did he
I feel like that. I feel like I did hear that.
Yeah, I think they released
be
the name of the
fair.
potential people. I really should have brought it up, but I...
Didn't they also get into a fight outside a bar like 3 years ago, like after a game?
In Denver and got shot. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, really? It was that recent?
No, it wasn't 3 years ago. It was when he was
No.
playing.
No,
Oh.
yeah, no. I'm saying he got into an actual fight too, because I know like what was his name? Haley got into a fight at a bar.
Oh, yeah, at the Cowboy, or what was that bar? I know what you're... I don't think Joey Porter got in a fight that time.
Oh, was that Haley then? That I'm thinking.
Yes, Todd Haley did get in a fight.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's who you're thinking of.
Speaking of Hall of Fames, Heath Miller is eligible next year in
Yes.
2021.
Yeah, send it. Send it.
Just sign
And
it
that's,
now.
I mean, he's predominantly the reason that I say utilize the tight ends now, because Ben loved Heath and they were so successful together.
I
They
love
were.
Heath bars. They're delicious. All right. We got two left here.
Also, that is the most fucking wild thing I've ever heard.
No, that's not actually true. I hate Heath bars. But
Good.
it made for a good
I was gonna
pun.
say overrated, just like fucking Twizzlers.
Yo, the Twizzler pull apart, the peels are the best.
Oh,
right.
even more overrated.
Wow.
Let me guess, you like black licorice, Tapia?
No, that's definitely the worst too. Fuck that. Do you like Jolly Ranchers? Because I hate Jolly Ranchers too.
How fucking dare you? The blue ones are the best.
Also garbage.
I
You're
mean,
garbage.
I
Fair.
yeah, I don't know.
All right. This one's for all you music fans out there. On August 18th, 2001, what musical group performed in the first event ever held at Heinz Field?
Is it a country group?
It is not a country group.
Ooh.
No, I have no clue.
Is that them? Hang on. I gotta Google.
Yeah,
I gotta Google.
it is. I already did.
This-
And I'm not gonna answer it.
Why did you Google it?
Because I wanted to fucking know.
Oh my god.
It was
thought
Backstreet Boys?
Other one.
Insane.
NSYNC?
Yeah.
No, really?
I had to look up if that was actually in sync. That song,
August
though.
18, 2001.
Michael knows
Coincidentally,
because it was his first concert.
coincidentally, they were also the last band to perform at Three Rivers.
Oh,
Oh,
That's kind of sick.
any of them Steelers fans, or is that just like a thing?
That's a really good question. It's like
they don't strike me as the football type.
maybe the Steelers are just thinking, yeah, who should we have to have the first ever concert?
I feel like we would have known by now if they maybe were.
That's true, because we know everyone else in like the celebrity world who's a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
They were an American boy band formed in Orlando, Florida, and launched in Germany. So
The more you know.
More you know. Listen, we're all about learning here. That's why we do these trivia questions.
Mhm.
Last one for the day. Again, more of a Michael one, I think, probably. This is tough. I don't even know who this is. Who is the only player to be on the Steelers roster for both Super Bowl 30 in 1996 and Super Bowl, I guess
XL.
that's 40 in 2006?
Would that be Jerome? No.
It's exactly who I would have said too.
Yeah, I would have said Jerome Bettis.
96 and 06.
Yeah. Let's see if I can I'll give you a hint here.
A hint without giving it away. 96 to 06.
Cornerback. His first name is also part of his last name. Willie Williams.
No, no, I would have never.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh
No.
gosh, people are gonna really think we don't actually know anything about this.
We don't. And you know what? We found that out a couple weeks ago. We had,
When we started this.
yeah, well, when we started this, we had this guy from Twitter, Rumbunter. He's a Pirates blogger on, and
Okay.
he didn't get a single Pirates baseball question wrong. And we asked him questions that were like, in 1968, who did this?
The only one he got wrong was like the
One from 1905. Or
the
something.
1905 question.
I was like, you just
see,
made
there's
us.
some like random things that I know from like the early days of the Steelers, like the 50s and stuff like that, but it's totally random. It's just things that just stick in my brain for no reason.
Pretty
It's
much know
usually to do with uniforms.
Yeah,
Mean Joe
like-
Green, Troy Polamalu, Hines Ward. Like, that's what I got for you.
Well, yeah, that's.
As far as like time frames and in Steelers history, that's all I got for you.
What else, Antonio?
Again,
Mine would
that's-
be
that's
based
not,
on what uniform they're wearing.
Which
Ooh, you
is
are a
huge.
big uniform person.
I
aren't you?
am. That's how I like. That's
You
how
play
I
good,
do
you
my
look
business.
better.
Yeah.
It
Did we ask you
matters.
this last time? Which one's your favorite jersey?
Yeah, it was the color rush.
So what jersey have you? That's what I wore the past 2 weeks. Color Rush.
Yeah, me
right?
too. I'm in color rush at the moment.
Color Rush. TJ Watt.
Color rush Big Ben.
Nice.
Okay, so that answers my question. Which
Yeah.
jersey you been wearing? So obviously, week 3, you're rolling with the Color Rush Big Ben, right?
Yeah, and then I have my best friend who I live with. She's in my home TJ.
Mm,
Yeah,
there you go.
bless her, because she doesn't even watch, but I'll just throw it at her and be like, put it on, don't say anything. And she's like, got it. Got it. She
Well,
was
it's like
like running errands in it, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, please put it on.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I went to
That's
Alex's
great.
and their dog's wearing a Steelers sweater. I was like,
If I could, I would. If I could, I
The
would.
sweater, my fiance wears the Big Ben home jersey. I have a Heath Miller one I bought last year, but the 3 times I wore it, they lost. So
Yeah, it's got to go. You have
Yeah,
to get
well-
that dry cleaned.
yeah, I won't wear it during game day anymore.
No, it has to be dry cleaned. The bad omens need to go before you wear that.
You gotta
Yeah.
boil it.
Yeah.
Throw it in the oven for 20.
Yeah, you really do. I'm not joking. We need to clean that one out.
Get all the
That's-
bacteria and bad shit off of it.
boil it.
No
Oh
way.
my god. So,
Broil it.
well, I went
But
over
yeah.
there and I didn't even have my terrible towel. Him and his fiance both fucking with the towels. I'm like,
It's
dude,
because you left yours on the wall.
I got left mine on the wall.
Yeah, mine's hanging up too, so I haven't been using mine so far.
I still got like 4 more at home. If you want one, Kai, I'll give you one to
You
twirl.
you gave me another one 2 weeks ago. I now have 2.
Dude,
but it's
no,
just
no joke. I added 6 terrible towels to our wedding registry.
As you should.
Yeah, because
I would
like
do
I
the
have the
same.
Super Bowl one. We got the regular. I want Thanksgiving. I want the Christmas. I want the Cinco de Mayo one. There's just I want the black one.
I got mine signed at the Pro Bowl this year, so I don't want to use it because I don't want it to get ruined. So I can't use it. And then I just bought the Hall of Fame Troy one.
Sick. Now you need that one signed by Troy.
Yeah, I mean, it has like the fake signature on it, but I want it really signed.
It's
But he's
sick.
so like elusive that I don't know how I'll ever catch him to get it done.
You should email him or his agent or whomever and say, "Hey, I bought this signed terrible towel. Turns out the signature is fake. Can you actually sign it for me?"
Yes.
And maybe he'd bite on it and be like, "Oh, this poor woman. I'll definitely hook her up with a new signed towel."
This poor woman. And then he checks my Twitter and he's like, "Oh, she's crazy. I can't." And he blocks me.
Nope, blocker.
And hey, if you do talk to him, let him know. Like, he should just call into the podcast one day. We'd love to talk to
I
him.
will. I have a signed book from him actually, because the Jim Wetzel, who's doing the biography for Troy and has done Steeler Nation, which is a really good book. He had a few copies signed by Troy because they're pretty close. And he messaged me one day and he's like, "I found a copy. It's signed by Troy. Would you like it?" And I was like,
What?
"Absolutely." So he sent it to me. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
That's like probably the best day that I could ever imagine.
It
It's
was
like,
awesome.
You just check your phone. Hey, can I send you a signed Troy Polamalu book?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
believe it.
Yes, please. Now.
I was like, absolutely, like send
That's
that.
crazy. Was that on Twitter, you said?
Yeah, on Twitter, he just messaged me and said like,
Damn.
you should have it. So I said, yes, please.
I don't know who that man is. It doesn't matter. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
That's,
shout out to
that
Jim,
is
he's awesome.
incredible.
Yeah, he covers the Steelers and covered them a lot during Troy's during the time that Troy played, and complete polar opposite people. And you would be surprised that that's like Troy's favorite sports journalist, and yet they're very different people and very just like polar opposite kind of individuals. But Troy like really appreciated him, so I guess he allows him to sign things and do stuff like that for him because they kind of built up a little bit of respect. So worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out in your favor.
That's incredible. That's a good story.
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
Speaking
that
of your
would be
social
my
media,
dream person to like meet would be Troy Polamalu.
oh, I thought you meant the author. I was like, really?
Oh, Jim.
That's it. Oh yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
He seems
Yeah.
like a quiet guy though.
Yes, very like not shy. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Keeps to
reclusive. Doesn't
himself-ish.
really. Yeah.
Ellie, you're not, are you a baseball? I can't remember. Are you a baseball fan at all?
I am, but not a Pirates
The
fan.
Rays, right?
Because
I'm a Rays fan. Yeah.
Good year
Good
to be a
memory.
Rays fan.
Yeah. Good.
I was going to say, Cole Tucker of the Pirates
Yes.
reminds me of Polamalu just because of his locks. And it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's.
I need to see
I've been meaning to make like an edit of something.
like a side by side.
Kind of, yeah. It's incredible.
I wouldn't say it's Palomalu level, but he's on his way.
You don't watch
Polamalu's hair
Pirates
is
games,
special.
Ty.
Yeah, you're
And like
right. I don't.
Polamalu is his hair is like has meaning, and that's what I appreciate. About his hair.
Not
He
only does
insured
it have
it for $1
meaning,
million.
but it's worth $1 million through Lloyd's of London, whom
Through
we
Lloyd's,
work
yes.
for.
Yes.
It's crazy, isn't it? That hair is worth some serious money.
Wow.
Good for him.
It's incredible.
I want it. Give me some.
Give it to
Because
me.
he played with his hair tied up during his rookie season, and then he went to, I think it was it must have been a Chargers game or a 49ers game, actually, I think it was. And that's where his family's from, San Francisco, or they were there. And his uncle was like, when you were in college and you played with your hair down, you played really well. Since you've put your hair up, you have not had such a successful start to your rookie year. And he wasn't having the best rookie year. So he said, take your hair down and see what happens. And he had like a standout game and basically never a bad game since. So that's why he played with his hair down, because it could be inconvenient, but for him, it holds special meaning.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got tackled by his hair, returning an interception.
Yeah.
And then he insured it for $1 million,
And then he-
which is just even better story. That's so sick.
I don't have a single thing in my life I could insure for that much money and actually mean it.
Probably your podcast equipment.
Yeah, all $400 of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just pay a nice premium on it.
I'll pay $1 premium to insure it for $400. Perfect. It's covered under my renter's insurance, which I paid $100 for. I don't know.
There you go. You're just like Troy.
You're just like Troy. I'm a great athlete, just like Troy.
Yeah, you can
The
run.
I
second
can run a
coming of
4.7. All right. Well, we won't take up too much more of your time here. Thank you so much for coming back on, talking some Steelers football. We'll be in touch. I'm sure this season we have plenty more to talk about. But
really
your
quick,
social
Ty,
media. What's up?
really quick before Ellie plugs her social media. Troy, according to Google, he ran a 4.33 40.
Wow.
What?
Oh, that's just
That's incredible.
Ellie just went, ooh.
I'm actually. I need a
Damn.
minute.
3.
Flustered.
Yeah, my. Wow, is that real? For real?
And it says people also search for Ike Taylor, and it says 4.18.
Ike Taylor, what a fucking dog. That's my guy.
A 4.18?
That's actually kind of creepy.
Do you know how fast that's
Swag and Ike?
in top article, Bleacher Report, top 25 fastest players in NFL history?
Wow.
Yeah, would never have said him. That's surprising.
He's number 1, I presume.
Ike Taylor.
Mike Vick was 11. Ike Taylor's 5, only behind Deion Sanders, Darrell Green, Bo Jackson, and number 1 is Bob Hayes, who played from 1965 until 1975.
Sounds made up.
But he also won the 1964 Summer Olympics 100-meter dash in 10 seconds.
As he should.
Is that fast? I don't know.
Oh, God.
Okay, anyways, social media.
Yep.
You have a pretty great following already, but go ahead and plug it, and we'll see if anyone wants to follow.
Yeah, it's just my name, which is @Ellie Finnerty.
That's it. I mean, your Twitter blows up, especially on game days. If you tweet something Steelers related, people are pretty responsive to you on there. It's
it could be a good thing or a bad thing. It depends what I say.
Yeah.
I do have to be a little bit careful because people are just looking for me to put a foot wrong, so correct me on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
everybody. I
I
mean,
hate
it's just
that.
the age we live in, unfortunately.
I don't mind it too much because, like you said, it's an opportunity to learn. So I have no problem with someone.
Yes, that's a phenomenal answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
Actually,
answer.
that was how I learned that Troy fact, because the guy that wrote the book asked me, well, when was the first time that Troy played with his hair down? And I said, I actually have no idea. And he told me, and he said, this is a great opportunity for you to learn. And then he sent me the book. So it works to admit when you don't know the answer sometimes.
Another great response. And yes, I agree. But that's the problem with Twitter and social media today is it's very rare that somebody will eat their L and admit they're wrong and say you were right. And
yeah, it's true. Especially as a girl as well, people are looking for you to be wrong because they can, you know what it can be like, for a girl, a little bit extra.
yeah, I could
and
only.
you're a girl, so you're wrong, you know?
Well, and then I was going to ask you, I mean, I don't want to, I don't know what it's like, but as far as being a girl who talks sports on social media and who's very knowledgeable at that, do you have dudes all the time just shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about,
Oh yeah, all the time. I have people, say all kinds of stuff like that to me, or just inappropriate stuff, sending me inappropriate messages and stuff, which comes with just being a female on the internet anyway.
Right.
But I do think that, I definitely get a few people being like, you don't know what you're talking about, and go to the kitchen, make a sandwich, whatever they want to say, that kind of stuff. I get that a lot. I also got recently, which really freaked me out, which was someone messaged me and was like, oh, I saw you in public and I was going to come over and say hi. And I was like, don't. Please.
Do you know who they are?
No, they didn't have a profile picture.
Oh, God.
So I was like, it wasn't me. I was like, it wasn't me.
Yikes.
Do not come over and say anything. If we haven't built up a rapport, please don't come over and say hi, because I will freak out.
Especially if you don't even have a picture of yourself on your Twitter.
Yeah.
God damn, that's creepy.
Right. If it was someone that I knew their face and we had a conversation.
Yeah, right.
Me, great. But if you're just a grayed out image and you come up to me and you're like, I follow you on Twitter, I would say, well,
not me.
Not me.
Apparently he follows you in real life too.
Yeah, right.
That's wild.
Hashtag reported. See ya.
Yeah, well, I was blocked real quick. I blocked him pretty fast.
Never blocked anybody on Twitter. I should do that just for the thrill of it.
Oh, I do it all the time. Also,
Dude.
Ty, mute words. It's great.
Yeah, muting.
Dude, yeah,
is
I've heard of this, and I need to look into it because
You can literally, like, we can pick Bengals or Browns, and we'll never see any Bengals or Browns on our Twitter ever again.
That's the fun part, is having your division
Right.
rivals to talk crap with.
Right.
yeah.
I was just thinking of the two things that pissed me off the most.
All right,
true.
well, with that, we will end it. Ellie, thank you again for coming on. At Ellie Finnerty on social media. Follow her, especially for game days. Like I said, we'll be in touch. Episode 148. Everybody follow us at yinsentertainment.com. Social media links are there at Yins Daily on the social media. Check out the YouTube page. We'll post the whole podcast as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just go to the website. It's all there. Episode 149 next Tuesday. We'll be back.
Hopefully
Yes,
3-0.
maybe we'll see. Yeah, hopefully 3-0. Maybe we'll have somebody to
that would
talk some
be
Steelers
lovely.
football with. So until then, thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye, you guys.
See ya.
See you, Ellie.